What up, it's your boy Worldwide LAU and you watching Cloudy Conversation.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Cloudy Conversations. Today's guest is artist, videographer, label owner, just to name a few, Worldwide LAU. Thanks for sitting down and talking with us.
You already know, man.
Alright, so for the new fans or those who may not be aware of you, just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been doing music for like 9 years now. From Harrisburg, PA, born and raised. I do music, I shoot videos, I got my own record label, I own a studio. I do a little bit of everything for real. That's it.
Now, like you mentioned, you're from Harrisburg, been doing music for about a decade now. Would you say you're one of the first people to put a face to the Harrisburg music scene?
Yeah, like one of the youngest artists, yeah, I could say that.
And what age was it that you first started rapping?
Well, like taking it serious, I started taking it serious around like 16. But I started like playing with rap when I was like 9, 10 years old.
And when you say playing with it, do you mean like just freestyling, rapping around, or like just writing?
Yeah, like I was writing, but I was freestyling more. Like I had a boom box that I used to have a microphone on, and I used to play beats and rap over like cassette tapes and record it like that. So I was like 10 years old.
I was like, so you
me and my cousin. So.
Cassette tapes, you started early. Like,
yeah.
Taking it back. Now, through your music, you've expressed that you pretty much grew up in a home where it was just you and your 3 other siblings, and you guys went through, some tough times as far as, financially and just, ups and downs. How did those times affect you?
Well, it actually made me have to do some things that, I ain't proud to say I did, but I had to do stuff to make shit happen in the crib, so niggas had to, So at a young age, I had to go outside and do shit that motherfuckers that was older was doing. So I was hanging around older people, and it helped me though, like a lot. Like I grew up more mature than all my friends and stuff. So, and for me going through so much at a young age, it just helped me be more focused as an adult. Like I've been through so much, so I'm more like experienced in a lot of shit.
Now, was school a factor at this time as well? Like, were you still attending school?
Yeah, I was in school, for sure. My mom made sure we went to school. Like, she ain't play about that, you know what I mean?
And were you a good student?
Yeah, I was a good student. I was smart. I was in a program called PFL, so I went to that. That was like an advanced program for students. But I got suspended a lot for fighting. Mm-hmm. Like, I was just one of them, like, I was getting in trouble, like, but...
Were you normally the guy that caused the fights, or you just somehow always ended up like?
It was like half and half, and sometimes it was me taking up for people, or like just fighting other people's battles and shit. So it just depended for real.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Science.
Science.
Yeah.
What did you like about science?
It was more hands-on. You know what I mean? I don't like just the teacher just talking. Like,
okay.
I got a short attention span. Like, I feel like I got ADHD or something, or ADD, whatever. But
whatever they call it.
Yeah, like, I need to be hands-on with a lot of shit, so.
And obviously, like you said, your mom was on you, school was still a thing. Was she aware of what you were doing on that side, or was that something you were keeping, like, on the hidden from her?
Once I got to, like, a certain age, she kind of knew.
Like, she put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, but it was, like, what I was dealing with at that time wasn't nothing that was crazy. So it was like, long as I was only doing it with my friends and not just randomly, like it was a lot of shit I did my mom don't know.
Right,
you know
right.
And she probably know now because I told her that now that I'm older. But like back then, I was keeping certain stuff from her. So, and it wasn't no large scale. It was like little nicks. Like what is. I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, it's like my mom definitely can't know that I'm just in any way doing it.
Yeah, I remember one time I got in trouble. Me and my homie, we tried to make some fake crack, right? It was like a whole bunch of that shit. It was sitting in my room drying or some shit. My mom found that joint.
Oh gosh.
And she called my phone snapping like I got fucked up for that shit. But yeah, she ain't want me dealing with like no hard that shit like crack or coke or nothing like that.
Yeah, because that just comes with a different type of tip.
I mean, she didn't want me doing nothing, to be honest, but like
realistically, if we like, when you know you can't control your kids to a certain point, like no matter what you instill in them, no matter how hard.
My mom ain't hide stuff from us. Like my mom was the type of mom that like she put us on about a lot of shit in the streets because she didn't want us to be like blind to it. You know, because
you're going to approach it in the environment we grew up in. It's going to find you one way or the other. So. If you didn't know prior to it, you could get like one of them kids like, oh shit, I'm hot fresh out here. Like, this is fun. Like, my mom didn't tell me nothing about this shit.
And that's why I kind of like, I'm different than a lot of like people I grew up around because they parents like kept a lot of shit from them. You know what I mean? Try to keep them away from certain people and don't let them go outside and locking them in the crib and all that weird stuff. Like, my mom was like, she made sure we was aware of stuff so we could be safe. You know what I'm saying? We know what the consequences is if we do certain stuff, you know what I'm saying? We know about certain things, you know what I mean? But
and did you, like, when you were younger, did you get in trouble, like, outside of school, maybe, like, with the law or anything? Did you have any of them situations?
Yeah, like, I got locked up when I was 15 and expelled from the high. So I didn't even get to finish school at John Harris.
Damn.
Like, I went to 9th grade. 10th grade, I went to school for like the first week.
Damn.
Got expelled for a fight. They charged me with aggravated assault.
Damn.
Yeah, because the boy's jaw was broken. So it was a fight between. I was with somebody waiting for the bus. Right, we missed the bus. So I'm walking. Mind you, me and him was cool. Like that was my homie, but I knew him through other people. Like that was my brother's friend. You know what I'm saying? So we walking. A car pulls up, and all these people get out and start like wilding like on him. But then the one boy hit me.
Oh, so I'm like, you with him? So
I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta jump in so we start fighting. We fuck them up or whatever. We leave. The next day, we was on the fucking news.
Damn.
Talking about we had to turn ourselves in and all this shit. So I'm 15 at that time. So. When I got locked up, they sent me to Schaffner for I was there for like 2.5 weeks. And I turned 16 in there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was getting in trouble for fighting a lot. And I think I got caught with I ain't never get caught with no weed or nothing like that. But yeah, fighting.
Damn. So when you got expelled from school and then you got, the charge added to it, when you got out, like, you weren't allowed to go back to school, so what was the option next for you?
I had to go to Abraxas. It was called Hassa. It was up at the shopping center, the old bingo hub. So I had to go there. It was like 8 to 8. It was 8 to 8 in Hassa, and then they had me in a program.
Wait, 8 in the morning to 8 at night you were in school?
Nah, so they had a program there called 8 to 8, which was Abraxas. Then they had, the other half was called Hassa. So Hassa was 8 to 2, but the only reason they released me is because I agreed to go to this. It was like a placement, but it was only like during the day, you go home at night. So it was called NRC, Neighborhood Reporting Center. So it was ran by like the criminal justice system, fucking judges, POs, and all that. But I would go to school from 8 to 2. They would pick me up in a van, and we go to, it was ran in a church. So when we went there, we had to do chores. We had to they had us doing fucking exercises, like killing us. We had to do like little groups, like drug and alcohol groups and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Our POs is there. We had to do drug tests every day. They feeding us, but we can only eat certain stuff. We can't drink juice. We only got.
So pretty much they put y'all in boot camp for so long.
Yeah, you go home at night. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit every day for 90 days or however long your sentence was in the program. Everybody had an ankle monitor on, so you on a curfew. Only day I was allowed outside was on Sunday for like 4 hours or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So. And
during that time, did it, like, that structure help you in any way? Like the fact that you kind of had to stick to, that daily routine?
That's how I really started taking music serious. Like, once I finished the program and I was able to go back to regular school, I moved in with my dad. My mom sent me to live with my dad in Mechanicsburg. So that's how I went to East Penn.
Okay, I didn't know you went there.
Yeah, I graduated from East Penn.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I was at my dad's crib, I was living in the suburb. Like, I ain't have shit to do. You know what I'm saying? So I lived with him for like a year. He kind of kicked me out. I get to that. But I was living out there or whatever, and I ain't had nothing to do. So I got a laptop and a mic and started recording my own music. And that's when I really started taking it serious. So I feel like me going through what I went through, like getting locked up and going through that program and all that, and moving with my dad, getting away from the city for a little bit, it kind of like, it helped me become the person that I am today, for real, for real.
And that's actually like a perfect transition into my next question, because now you're known as Worldwide LAU, but you actually started off as Think LAU.
Yeah.
So where did that name come from?
So basically, I didn't like Stink LAU, like, cause that was like some family shit. Like, my mom used to say that to me, my brother used to say that to me, like, cause we was originally from the South, like, not LAU originated out the South, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Alfie and shit. So when I went to London in 2016 on my first tour, after I came back, I just started having all these thoughts, like, yo, like, I want to start my own brand, because at that time I think I was dealing with another local label or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't really feeling a lot of the shit that was going on, so I wanted to branch off and do my own thing. So I'm like, what am I going to call my label? So I came up with the Worldwide Forever for my label. And then after that, I'm like, man, I need to change my name. Like, I keep LAU, but like, I need something to put on the front of that joint. You know what I mean? To match the brand and to just stand out and be my own self. Because like with Stink LAU, like, you could type it. Well, at first it was Stink LAU, then it went to just LAU, then it went to Worldwide LAU. So when it was just LAU, it was hard, because like, people can't just go online and type in LAU and my shit pop up. It's Chinese people popping up. It's all this weird shit. So I'm like, I need something on the beginning of it to make it, you know what I mean, original, make it mine. So I did that because I felt like I wanted to just keep traveling. Like, I'm like, I want to be worldwide. You know what I mean? I want to be local. Like, that's the only reason I went on the tour out there. You know what I mean? So that's where that came from.
Okay. And then I had also came across a Twitter page from when you was 16 in 2011 when you had created it. And the bio had said that it said that you were a 16-year-old rapper from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Idols Lil Wayne, Cassidy, Meek Mill, and myself.
Oh shit.
And it had your location as Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm like, this nigga's not from Mechanicsburg.
Right, yeah, I ain't from Mechanicsburg. Right. I was living there at the time and shit.
Are those still your idols, or people you would say influenced you?
Who all I said?
You said Lil Wayne, Cassidy, Meek Mill, and yourself.
Alright, so Cassidy not my idol. I fool with Cass though. Like, Cassidy was one of my favorite rappers when I was younger. You know what I mean? But now he's kind of like not my favorite rapper. I don't even listen to Cassidy no more.
Right.
But Lil Wayne, in a way, in a sense, like the way he came up, you know, like his drive, like the type of shit he did, the bars he set and all that. I'm trying to be the same way. But like the type of artist he turned into, like, I don't know about all that. But like Meek Mill, yeah, I look up to Meek. I fuck with Meek. Just the same thing, like his story. Like, I watched him since I was a kid and watched how he came up. So like, I look up to him. And I say 50 Cent. Like, I don't know why 50 Cent wasn't on there. If you read my book, 50 Cent's in that joint. Like, that was my favorite rapper. Like, and now the person he turned into today is just crazy. Like,
yeah, who would have thought?
I'm trying to be doing that. I'm trying to be writing movies and TV shows and be in movies and all that. Like, I want to act and all that. So yeah, that's funny though.
Yeah.
She found the throwback.
Facts. And one of the tweets actually said, listen to the songs recorded and produced by me. Bad quality, still got lyrics to keep them listening. So have you been recording yourself from the start?
Almost like I say 95% of my music is recorded and mixed by me.
And where did that come from? Like, when most people start rapping, like, all right, I'm going to go to the studio and just start, rapping. But you kind of focused on the craft behind it, actually learning how to record and engineer and mix the song. So how did that happen?
I guess it started with the boombox. Know what I mean? And then, like I said, when I moved with my dad, I started recording myself on the computer. I had a little Guitar Hero mic with a sock on that joint for the filter and shit.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And I just kept going. Like, I don't know if it's because I wanted to save money or I ain't have the money to go to the studio, or if it was just because I wanted to learn how to do my own shit, you know what I'm saying? And it just turned into me owning my own studios, and like, I don't know, it's crazy though.
Did you well, you said you've been like pretty much recording from the start, but when you like actually got the equipment and things like that, did you know like what you needed to like download, what you needed?
Oh nah, I would like, so I did go to studios. Like, the first studio I think I ever recorded at was Father Time Studio. It was owned by Harvey. It was on Paxton Street. So I went to him. Me and my sister used to go down because my sister sings, so she used to be the one in the studio. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I even got into recording music, like being around her, going to the studio. So then I started going to Darkland on 17th Street, and I started like paying attention to what people was doing. I started hanging with certain people that was into that, so I started picking up stuff and learning it as I went. But I ain't know what I was doing when I started though. You know what I mean?
And do you remember the actual like first song you recorded once you got the equipment and you found like you kind of knew what you were doing with the mix?
The first song I recorded,
or just maybe a memorable song at that time that you're like, yo, like, yeah, I can do this shit.
I remember recording Better Days. I ain't mixed that. I ain't record that. I can't even say what song. Because
you were just doing so much. You were doing freestyles.
I was dropping so much shit back then. Like, I would drop like 4 songs a day, 5 videos a week type shit. Like, I was recording my own videos too. Like, I was shooting my own videos and all that.
And what were you using this when you first started shooting?
I had a Canon. I started with a Canon T3i.
Did you have any knowledge of how to work that, or you just was?
Nope. Like I said, I was hanging around certain people. Like, shout out to my man's Tyjer. Like, he was helping me with the camera stuff, cause he had a whole little situation called True Music. That's probably like, I was probably like 19 around that time, 18, 19. So being around him, he had more knowledge than me. He was kind of like teaching me the camera settings, like how to shoot and slow motion and stuff like that. But for a while, I didn't. Matter of fact, the first camera I shot with was not a Canon T3i. It was my brother had this it was like a handheld flip camera. You remember them? It looked like a cell phone. The screen was broke on it though, so I couldn't see.
But
I used to just shoot and then pull it up with a computer. For real.
That's crazy. And when you first start putting out your music and things like that, like what type of response did you get?
I could say when I first started, I probably wasn't even really getting no responses like that. It took cause I used to drill people on Facebook. Like, people used to get annoyed with me because I used to post like every
so much. You said 4 songs a day.
You know what I'm saying? I used to post every minute. I'm tagging everybody. So for me doing that over time, it kind of like grew a fan base, and people it got to a point where I was like locally famous in my own city. Like, I would go outside and people driving down the street screaming my name out the window, or I got chased by a group of girls down Market Street before. Like, a lot of shit that happened. I mean, like, it used to be crazy.
He's like, dang, I made it, yo.
Nah, I mean, it was, and I think it was like, it was only, at that time, the only young artist in the city was me, Young Swerve. Because me and Young Swerve did a show together in Atlanta. We opened up for Gucci. we was like one of the first artists from the city to like
start doing
traveling. You know what I mean? So people was like really looking up to me, doing all the shit I was doing.
Yeah, because I remember you had that picture of Gucci and you and people were trying to say it was fake.
Yeah, they said that joint was Photoshop. I'm like, what? Like, I ain't even that type of nigga. I'm not about to Photoshop some fake shit, nah.
And at that time, how were you putting out music? Because, you know, now today we have like the streaming platform. So what were you utilizing back then?
Back then it was, I had Reverb Nation. It was a site. It was kind of like SoundCloud, but it was a little different. Like you could book shows and all that on there. Submit your music for movies and all that type of stuff. And I was using YouTube, and I was using, I want to say, just Facebook and CDs. And just
so you were doing music at the time. Were you like pressing out actual CDs?
Getting CDs printed out with covers and having to write on shit. It was crazy. Going to Atlanta, passing them out at events and all that. I was doing the footwork back then.
And were you doing a lot of that yourself? Like you said, because you were shooting your music. Were you creating, like coming up with the graphic covers and things as well?
Yeah, well, like, mostly a lot of stuff I did by myself, but I did start getting help along the way. Like I said, like Ty Jeer. Like I had like my family helping me with stuff, like passing out CDs. My mom helping me getting CDs printed up. Like my mom was like one of my biggest supporters, you know what I'm saying? So she helped me with a lot of stuff, helped me get shows and stuff like that too. So.
And how did that make you feel? Or what did it even probably didn't even come as a surprise when you seen like your mom pushing you and behind you as much as she was?
Nah, I ain't really start like understanding that shit until I got a little older. You know what I mean? When I was young, I wasn't thinking about it. I mean, of course I appreciated it. Like it felt good. Like it was fun. Like we all going on trips to do shows together, and you know what I'm saying? It was dope. But now I look at it like, yo, that's dope because a lot of people don't get that support from their parents, you know what I mean?
Like actually like really putting themselves in the middle of your dream to help secure it.
Going out to the clubs, having DJs play my shit, blasting my shit on the block, like all that. Yeah.
That's love. And like you said, when you started pushing yourself at 16, after, you know, you went through the transition of, you know, getting in trouble and everything. But then once you turned 17, you're now a father. So when you found out you were going to be a dad, what was your reaction to that?
I actually was happy. I don't know why, so young, like, but like I wanted to have a kid. Like I got 2 daughters and they're here purposely. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking back then, but you know. It made me like had to step up and really go hard. Like it made me want to just own the world. You know what I mean? Like I gotta go hard because I got kids now. Like, and I don't want them to have to go through none of this shit I went through. So.
But did that like put you in a tough position between like choosing your music and like focus on being able to provide a life for her now?
Yeah, it was definitely tough because I used to go through it with my daughter's mom, like about being in the studio, and like she used to put me down a lot, like you need to come get your daughter or get out the studio or you ain't gonna make it and da 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 da. Like she used to be like evil. She was evil.
But you think that was because you said you guys were young. She's like now she has a baby evil. And. Like it's technically like you in the studio, nigga. Like come get this baby.
I mean, but I was always with my daughter too.
So
I was like my studio was it was either in the house or out back.
So it was like you wasn't like you.
I wasn't nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
out back. Like I wasn't leaving the house.
Okay,
like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? It was times where I had my daughter in the studio with me. She done been on songs like talking when she was 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like they was living. My baby mom was living in my house. You know what I'm saying? My mom's house. So, like, I wasn't going nowhere. Right. She was just being, like, you know what I mean?
Just going through a tough time. And when you like, seeing her born and everything, like, obviously you were 17. Was your mind blown? Like, yo, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, because she had a C-section, so it was even more intense. Like, I was like, oh, it was crazy. Like, I don't know, that shit was definitely dope. Like, I was happy that I had a daughter, though. Real tough. You
touched on it kind of earlier, because like we said, you went through a couple name changes, because when I was looking it up, I'm like, all right, well, it was Loud, the Problem Child too. Some stuff came up, and then it was just Loud.
I was trying to find myself.
And then and then I seen, but a lot of the stuff now is under Worldwide LAU, so you have to go back and like change all that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that was probably a lot of content that had to go back and change.
And a lot of my stuff, like I took down, like on my YouTube, I archived a lot of stuff because I'm putting out all new stuff. I rebranded my label and all that, so I'm gonna put it back up. I'm gonna let it go back up, but after I put out all my new stuff.
Yeah, it was nice to go back and look at all that old stuff from like 2011, because I'm like, dang, like I remember seeing this on Facebook and I'm thinking, oh, this shit is fire, right. And everything. Now I go back like,
I was like, damn,
that nigga still was out there doing it. Like he said, I was shooting my own videos and all that. I was cracking up, like that was at his house, like literally out front, like oh, I know him.
I was just doing that like a couple weeks ago, like looking at my old shit.
And how did that make you feel when you see that you like the progression that you made?
It made me feel good because it just showed consistency. Like I actually kept going. Like if I would have stopped, I wouldn't have all this to look back at. You know what I mean? So it's dope to keep creating it.
Mm-hmm. And then I think that actually like was the first project or one of the first projects you released was Problem Child, like mixtape.
Now the first project I released was called Long Way to Go.
Okay. So
it's hard to find that one because the sites that I used to put it out, I think it was called Tweet My Song. It was ran by like I think Twitter. But you could upload music on there and that site's gone now, so I can't find that project. It's only on the disc. I think my mom got that job somewhere. Then it was Problem Child. And then it was Problem Child 2. Okay,
the series. Okay, yeah, the that you had hosted. I think
a couple of my homies want me to do a Problem Child 3.
It might make sense.
I don't know. I ain't a child no more though.
Kind of do it on some like Lil Wayne type shit, like just make it all go crazy over all the new beats.
Yeah.
Something like that. Cause that's kind of what you was doing back then, just snapping on everything. I
did want to start doing that again. I'm like, yo, I ain't getting on somebody else's beat in a long time.
I was thinking that you was really going crazy.
Bring that shit back, cause ain't nobody doing it. And don't steal my idea.
In fact, by the time we release that, you'll probably have it already out there too. Now, how many names do you think you had?
So I had Loud. Stink Loud, King Loud, Loud the Problem Child. I even was calling myself Loud Pacquiao for a minute.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Cause one of my homies, he used to call me that shit, so I just started calling myself. It was like a little small fade. And you got Worldwide LAU. And then I even think when I was younger than that, when I was like 13, 12, before I even started taking it serious, I had other names. So I didn't have a lot of names.
It was a cycle, but do you think each one of those names represented like a different artist at that time as well?
Yeah, because all my music, it kind of sound different from those different times. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was Stink Loud, that's when I was doing more like just straight rap shit. Like I wasn't doing like the melodic music or none of that. Then when I went to straight Loud, I think that's when I started mixing it up a little bit, trying to dibble and dabble into the melodic music. I ain't mastered it yet. Then when I turned into Worldwide LAU, that's when I started doing just everything. Like I got all of that shit mastered now.
Okay, so I'm going to name a couple of your projects, and I just want you to think of yourself at that time as an artist, as well as the project, and just like give like a brief description on where you were pretty much with it. We'll start off with the Problem Child series.
The Problem Child series, I think I was still in school at that time. I was young, out here just running the street with my homies and shit. I was in the streets a little bit. I wasn't doing like a whole lot of crazy shit, but
And what do you think the music represented? Like what
the music represented out? At that time, it represented. I really don't remember all the songs on the top.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you had a lot of music.
I'm thinking about the videos in my head that I did to the project, and I know one of them was called "Smoking Dope," and it was me and my brother. And that video was just on some, like, we were just talking about smoking weed, getting money. I was driving in a car that had rims on it and gold teeth. And, like, it was just some... At that time, that's when Chief Keef was hot. It was one of them type beats, so... I don't know. I really don't remember all the songs. I ain't even gonna hold you. I made so many.
We'll bring it to a more recent series with Risk It All.
Yeah, Risk It All. So, yeah. Risk It All, at that time, I was doing a lot of shit, like, out here, like, risking my freedom, you know what I'm saying? Risking losing everything. But I was doing it just to, you know, take that chance to be in a better place. Like where I'm at now, like, I'm in a better place, you dig? Like, I went through shit, but it helped me. So at that time, I was wild.
Yeah, and you even released a book more so with the music and the promo side. Like at that time, I feel like that's when it kind of started going in a more commercial, branded type way. With like, who releases a book? Like
very tough. Yeah.
And then you also released The Cure. That was in 2020, I believe.
Yeah, I did that on. You ain't see Risk It All too?
Well, you know, those was up there too. I was talking about Risk It All and Risk It All 2 pretty much together with the last question. But they did come kind of at different times. I kind of like The Cure. It was just a mix of just songs that I made. I just threw it out there because of what was going on with the pandemic. Like, it wasn't... At that time, I think I was just now grabbing this building. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm like trying to do my business stuff. And then I seen on YouTube you had Long Awaited 1 and 2 as well. Was that an official project, or was those just some songs? Well, actually, I'm going to say it was on your YouTube, but it had Worldwide LAU. Yeah, so I didn't know. I don't know why they stuff be popping up on my side. I be trying to contact them people and have them fix it, but... Because I was a little confused. Like, I've never seen this, but it's under all the everything else, so I'm going to just see. Nah, that's not me. All right. And then did you have a project worldwide or no? Because that was a compilation of songs. That's not me. That's okay. All right. So scratch that. Now you're gearing up for the release of the much anticipated EP, Growing Pains, which you've been releasing singles for, you know, like the last year or so, but this will be like the first project since, you know, The Cure. So what are you looking to showcase with this one? This EP is really just pain. Like, it's basically, I'm just touching on like all the stuff I've been going through in the past like 2 years, like with me fighting the cases I was fighting, me getting locked up, doing time, and being on probation, and you know and it's more the music is melodic, like all of it's melodic, none of it's me just straight rapping like on some Meek Mill type shit. Okay. You know what I mean? So I'm just showcasing that side of me. Are there going to be any features? Nah, no features. And you generally like don't do too many features like on your projects. No. Like, is there a reason for that? I don't know. I just be feeling like if I'm going to do a feature, it's going to be for a reason. Like I got songs with people, you know what I'm saying, but they just don't be fitting the project that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, but I do want to start doing more features. And I plan on doing that. Like, I just was talking to my homie the other day, like, I got a mixtape coming out after Growing Pains. It's called I Ain't Write This. So it's songs that's just all freestyle. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting features. I already got a couple of features right now. You know what I mean? So do you write and freestyle, or depending on the situation? I mean, lately I've been freestyling, just punching in. You know what I mean? I learned how to do that shit a couple of years ago with Rich Homie Quan's homie Nard. It was showing me how to do that in Atlanta, and that's how I made Trapping Like a Fool. That's how I made, it was another one of my songs that I made that was dope. But I stopped doing it and started writing because I felt like it was hard.
But I've been practicing that shit for like the past 6 months, and I've been getting better at it. So like all the music that I've been putting out for the past couple months and this project, none of it was written.
Okay. And how are you treating this project rollout compared to the others?
Well, this project, I'm actually shooting a lot of videos right now. So I got like 4 or 5 videos already that's about to drop with the project. I got a lot of blog sites and stuff that's going to be posting it. And I'm just trying to get it on more platforms than I usually do, you know what I mean? Take that extra step instead of just putting it out there like I usually do and not really put nothing behind it. So I'm going to put more money behind this project.
Okay. Now, what do you hope to gain with this project and treating it, with more,
I just hope to gain, a bigger audience with it, for real.
Okay. And now, as I mentioned, you're not just an artist. You also own a label, Worldwide Forever. And your artist, Fatty Sav, has a pretty big following. What made you start this? Well, you already said that you wanted to branch off from a previous label to do your own thing. So how did you and Fatty Sav link up?
Well, Fatty Sav was my neighbor when I lived on 18th Regina. So like, what year was that? I want to say like 2017, around that time. He was my neighbor or whatever, but he was a fan of my music. Like, so I really don't remember exactly like how we got in contact to even link on some music stuff, but he was trying to make music, so I told him I'll shoot a video for him for free. So I shot his first video. It's called Sneak This, and it probably got like 60,000, 70,000 views right now on YouTube. But that John started getting some numbers on it, you know what I'm saying? Because I told him how to shoot it, you know what I mean? Take his shirt off. Like, I had a whole little vision in my head with him, and this is with him not being my artist at the time. So I already gave him like a head start, you know what I'm saying? Once I seen it start getting traction, I'm like, yo, I think I got an idea. So I started talking to him about really, taking it seriously, like he want to do it. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I just got behind him, and I started coming up with more strategies and start linking in with certain people and, just putting money behind him and helping him out. And it started taking off.
And would you ever see yourself like going full-time executive, like kind of like a little Bibby situation, just saying forget rap and just focusing strictly on building a label?
Yeah. Definitely what I'm trying. I be looking at Lil Bibby shit. Like, he one of the people that I look up to far as artists that go executive. You know what I mean? So I be looking at his label page and looking at how they be doing stuff and the artists that he be discovering. Like, he be discovering some big people, you know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm trying to do eventually. I don't know how soon, but eventually.
Has any labels like approached you and Fatty Sav as far as trying to, sign y'all on? Yeah,
like, I know like last year a lot of labels was hitting me about the situation with Fatty for sure too. Like, I dealt with like a lot of independent labels and stuff like that, but like Atlantic Records, Sony Records, Alamo Records, fucking a couple labels that called me.
But you feel like you know enough of the business now and have been doing it to know like what's worth hearing and are a good deal or pretty much what to look for?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time it was like a lot of labels, like the way the labels work nowadays, they don't put money behind artists until they're already big. Even though his numbers was big at the time, like he had a couple 100,000 views, but I seen situations where artists get signed and then they get shelved because they ain't got enough value. So our whole thing was like, let's keep building him up, let him grow as an artist before we let somebody come in and try to change everything. And they wasn't gonna offer enough money. And we already had a situation like a management contract with we got a situation with Littles. He's a manager for like he managed people on TIG, Moneybag Yo, Moneybag, what's his name? Big
Green.
Big Homie G. Like those are artists that he managed. Rubber Band OG. He managed Mobb Deep. He do a lot of industry stuff. So he was helping us with like decisions too. You know what I mean? So we just gonna keep building him up, and then we gonna go to the labels ourselves and do like a partnership. We don't want to do no straight signing with no label.
Mm-hmm. And what can we expect from Fatty Sav as far as like music? He has any projects coming or?
Yeah, well, you know, he recently lost his mom. So he been taking like a kind of like a little break off of social media, but we still been working. He shooting videos. He got music. We trying to put out a project like an EP or a mixtape. You know what I mean? Because he only been dropping singles and videos. So we want to give the people something different and, you know, just move him around, start doing shows out of town, and might even throw like a big worldwide concert in the city or something like that, you know what I mean? But he's just still working. He's going to keep pushing.
That'd be dope. Now, like you mentioned earlier, you also have the production house, which is pretty much a multimedia hub for artists and creators to be able to pretty much have everything they would need in one place as far as a studio, create green room. How did you come across that space? Or pretty much when did that venture become?
Well, I always, like since a kid, wanted to, like me and my family wanted to have a spot where we could do all of this type of shit. So 2 years ago, I was looking for a space just to have my own studio for me personally, because I wasn't trying to keep recording at my house. And I came across just a spot. It was just one room, and I was about to get it. And then I came across this. So I'm like, yo, I need that spot. You know what I mean? So I reached out to the lady, and she was saying that somebody else was ahead of me, and they wanted it. If they don't get it, then I can have it. Somehow she ended up not getting it, and you know, I got the space, and it's just been working since then.
And has people like been receptive to the space coming through, like actually utilizing it?
Yeah, the studio get more bookings than anything. Like it'll probably be studio than events. Like people rent out the space to do events, and then like we got the green room. We just built the jail cell downstairs, so we got that. That had probably only been used like twice so far. So it's definitely doing decent though.
Okay. And like we just discussed, you've experienced a lot of growth over your journey. Been on international tours, performed many places, different career ventures. But you've also had some bumps in the journey, especially most recently with dealing with police harassment. Kind of, if you can, you know, just expand on what you were dealing with and kind of how that affected your business and what you had going on.
I think I was really just being like racially profiled or something, because I moved into a new neighborhood. I live in SWAT area. My studio's in SWAT area. SWAT area township police been harassing me. I've never been harassed by Harrisburg police all of the years I lived in Harrisburg. Although I've been arrested by Harrisburg police, I never had these situations. So I just feel like they was trying to be nosy and trying to figure out what I had going on. They didn't know who I was, how old I was to be having all of this going on. You know what I'm saying? So.
And all that attention and, you know, them, you know, coming into your establishment while, you know, the business is closed and everything like that, targeting you at the gas station, did that put you at risk of losing this property or pretty much everything you've been building?
Yeah, kind of in a sense, because when I got arrested, one of the times that they were harassing me, I got caught with drugs on me. So it kind of like put me in a situation where now I'm on probation and, you know, but I made it happen. Like, I ain't lose the space, but yeah, definitely.
And when you posted about the burglary alarm and everything going off with that. And then the video you posted at the gas station, you actually said that you were receiving a lot of support from the community as far as people reaching out, reposting the video. Right. Do you think that played a role in kind of them falling back off of you?
Yeah, it could have, because they did mention to me that they seen the video I posted on Facebook when we had an interaction. They did tell me that. So I think that could be a big reason why, like, I don't really have no more problems out of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. They know I was going to try to sue them.
I say.
Fuck that. They got to be chill.
And what did you take from that situation, especially with, like, at that time, George Floyd passing? It was a lot going on. Like, in the last few years, period, it was a lot within, just the police tension and community. So for you to have experienced it yourself, like, how did that make you feel?
I felt like I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, it was only 2 cops there and me. They didn't call for backup or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like my life was at risk. I mean, I didn't know what could have happened. And I just had surgery the day before on my wrist, so, like, I was in a lot of pain, you know what I mean? But, like, even, Ben Crump, he reposted my video and all of that, so I was really trying to take a lot of legal action on that, but it didn't really get nowhere because it seemed like they don't really try to hop on cases unless somebody's dead,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So.
Because even in them cases, the officers most times don't even go to jail. So.
Right.
Now, touching back more on the positive side, you released a ton of music. You started, like you said, probably 2011 or so. You developed your skills in both production for the audio and video side. You found and developed other stars, even, just like I said, the tour. So would you consider yourself a successful artist?
I mean, I would say in a way, like, I got a lot of achievements, but I still don't feel like I'm successful.
Personally, like, where you...
Yeah, like, other people think that, so I don't know, but I think I overthink. I think too much.
Because I'm gonna say for you have higher goals. Like, right. Where you want to go with it. But just for somebody who just looks at the overall picture, like, most people wouldn't even continue to have still been rapping. They wouldn't even thought to figure out skills to make money to support their rap. And you have a whole studio. You don't ever have to pay somebody else to record a day in your life. Like, so it's like you kind of made yourself a brand in the business and set an example to what you could be, and you're still young, so it's like it'll be one thing if you was like 57 still trying to rap and shit. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, let this shit go for real. Do you think you've reached your peak?
No. Fuck no. Hell no. I still got a long way to go.
And what would you say to someone that...
I feel like I've been chilling. Like, people see all the stuff I did and they feel like I did it big, but I still feel like, nah, like, because I know what my potential is. I know what I can do. Like, I know the connections I got that I really need to use, you know what I'm saying? So that's why right now, like, after I just did the 10 months that I just did locked up and all that, like, it got me more focused. You know what I mean? I came home, I did everything I said I was going to do. I got a project I'm about to release. I'm shooting. I never put out this much videos for no project. Like, I'm really active right now, and I'm really about to just turn up like I never did before and see what my potential is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should be performing more. Mm-hmm. I should be in Harrisburg less. You know what I mean? Like I was doing before. Like, I was never here. When people would see me, they'd be like, damn, bro, I didn't even know you was here. How long you here for? You know what I mean? Now people used to seeing me here because the shit I was going through for the past 2-3 years, like, it kind of hindered my career. Like, catching them cases and all that. I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't do shit. I had to worry about paying for lawyers and all of this stuff. So now all of that's out the way. Now I can really go, you know what I mean, go up.
And what would you say to someone that says, like, yo, bro, you've been doing it for this long, it's time to just give it up?
I don't know. I'd just be like, I can't give up. Like, I've been doing it for so long. How the fuck I'm gonna give up? Like,
this is my life. Like, this is my job.
Like, this is my daily routine now. Like, when I wake up, I don't think about doing nothing else but I go to the studio or go do what I'm supposed to do business wise. Like, at the end of the day, I know I don't want to be a rapper forever. Like, I don't even want to be the biggest rapper in the world. Like, I don't want to be like like fucking, I ain't gonna say Jay-Z because Jay-Z turned into a businessman, but like,
you just
like
don't
the
want to
Baby or somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be that big. Like, I still want to make music because I love to make music. Like, if I can make money off of it and shit, I'm gonna still keep doing it to keep my label alive and help my artists. Like, I'm gonna put other people on along the way. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna make my money. You know what I mean? That's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what people doing this shit for, money. I'm gonna just do it in a different way.
Facts. Well, like I said, we've touched on a lot. I think we've, created a perfect picture for the audience to see you and what you bring to the table. May 1st, Growing Pain drops. Should we expect the visuals to drop, like with the product, like you said, like that comes out, your singles out?
If the director that shot my first video for Pain can have it done by that date, then I'll drop it. But if not, it's probably gonna be like a week after that, and then I'll start dropping everything else. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it like week by week or if I'm gonna let it promote for a couple weeks and then drop the new jump. But there's a couple videos coming for sure.
Alright. Well, again, I want to thank you for sitting down and talking with us. It's been a pleasure. Tell everybody, where to find you and your music so that we, can link up and make sure they catch that EP.
Yeah, y'all can just go on Google, search Worldwide LAU, LAU. I mean, everything you looking for is going to be on there.
All right. Thank you. Cloudy Conversations.
Let's get it.